Let's get a divorce of convenience. Once I've donated my kidney to her, I'll remarry you. Mom, if you don't divorce Dad, I won't go to school. Toiling tirelessly for half my life, washing clothes, cooking meals, showing respect to William and Margaret, and being criticized by the whole family just for eating a single chicken leg. My daughter teamed up with outsiders against me. After the divorce of convenience, I finally escaped from that ungrateful wretch of a family. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us where you're listening from in the comments. One conflict: by the time I sat down to eat, the family was already devouring their food, leaving only some broth in the dishes. I picked up the last chicken leg, and William abruptly struck my hand hard with his chopsticks. Eat, eat, eat. You're a starving ghost reborn. That chicken leg is for Victoria. Furious, I slammed my chopsticks onto the table. I've been cooking and cleaning all morning, famished and feeling terrible. And I get hit for taking one chicken leg? This life is unbearable. Margaret chimed in from the side, who knows if you weren't sneaking bites while you were cooking? I was so angry my throat ached. Fine, then I won't cook anymore. I'll go find a job, I won't starve to death. Margaret, you're just greedy. Unsophisticated rural folk are so narrow-minded. My husband, Victoria, works all day and comes back to tutor 2 kids in the evening. Yesterday, she had blood drawn for a liver match for Dad, so she needs to replenish her nutrients. You ungrateful wretch, you won't even go for a match. What right do you have to eat a chicken leg? With just a few words, they stood on moral high ground, judging me, effectively choking me, preventing me from speaking. Victoria herself has nephritis, she's not even a candidate for liver donation. Moreover, my husband's elder brother has passed away, so legally, she cannot donate her liver to William. But she manages to manipulate everyone into doing exactly what she wants. I pushed the rice around in my mouth, forcing my tears back down. William, casually crossing his legs, continued to lecture me. Grace, how do you compare to Victoria? Victoria gave birth to our eldest grandson, she has a job and earns money, and she's remained virtuous for your husband's late brother. Look at you, you don't have a job, and you only bore a daughter. Victoria is going to donate her liver to me, she had so much blood drawn yesterday, she is the best daughter-in-law in the whole world. My daughter, Victoria, is the best. Not like Mom, who is so stingy and petty. She only made 10 chicken legs, and Grandma didn't even get one. Victoria never nags me and she buys me gifts. My daughter, heartlessly, joined them in criticizing me. I'm stingy and petty? Your grandpa and your dad give most of their salaries to Victoria. Your dad only gives me $2,000 a month for groceries for a family of 7. How am I supposed to be generous with that? William raised his voice. The money I earn, I'll give to whoever I want. Margaret sneered. You can't even earn your own money, yet you're always calculating other people's money. Unsophisticated rural folk are truly narrow-minded. I'm constantly doing housework from morning till night without a single penny of wages. If I went out to be a nanny, I could earn thousands a month. Serving a family of 7, I'm criticized even for wanting a bottle of milk or a chicken leg. I haven't worn a new outfit in 16 years, only Victoria's hand-me-downs. I feel so outdated and unstylish. Every day of this life is torment for me. My husband, when we got married, we gave your family $80,000. Back then, $80,000 was enough to marry several women. We married you to serve my parents, wasn't it? Every time we argue, he brings up the bride price. Margaret, you married into our family from a forgotten rural town, and you're not even grateful? Instead, you're always nitpicking. That instantly infuriated me. It's because Mark is so naive, he married me because he thought I'd be easy to control. If your family's circumstances were so good, why did you insist on spending a fortune to marry a girl from a forgotten rural town like me? I was accepted into college back then. If you hadn't come to our house to propose, I might have gone to university. I've been slaving away in your house for 16 years. My wages as a nanny would have long since offset that $80,000 bride price. I'm leaving with nothing, we're getting a divorce. My husband looked at me with disdain. Look at you now, a worn-out woman. Who would want you after a divorce, not even if you were 18? Victoria returned, dressed in bright, new clothes, carrying shopping bags. I'm back. I bought William a new down jacket. William chuckled, looking at Victoria. Our eldest daughter-in-law is truly filial. I've never seen Grace buy me a single piece of clothing. The thing is, you've never given me any money. I don't work, I have no income. How could I have money to buy you gifts? Victoria wore an elegant, composed smile. At 40, she looked much younger than me, a 34-year-old woman. She bought a lot of cosmetics and would often show them off to me, radiating superiority. Women should take care of themselves, earn their own money and spend it on themselves. She knew best how to stab me with the softest knife, tormenting my nerves. William gave her $4,000 out of his $6,000 monthly retirement pension. My money will eventually go to my eldest grandson anyway. The sooner I give it, the sooner I'll have peace of mind. My husband earned about $6,000 a month and gave Victoria $3,000 of it every month. I promised my elder brother I'd take good care of Ethan and Victoria. I can't let them suffer. If you dare to make a fuss, I'll kill you. My husband's elder brother received over $1 million in compensation from his car accident. She herself earned several thousand a month from her job. William also transferred an apartment into his late son's name, which brought in $2,000 in rent. We lived in William and Margaret's house, and after 16 years of marriage, I had no assets. My daughter, clinging to Victoria, asked sweetly, "Victoria, you bought so much, did you buy anything for me?" Victoria, "Yes, I bought you a new tracksuit to wear for your physical education exams." My daughter happily looked at her new clothes. Victoria is the best. Unlike mom, she never gives me pocket money and never buys me clothes. The two of them were as close as mother and daughter, smug and never missing a chance to belittle me. I don't work outside the home, so where would I get money? My job is serving this entire family every day, but I don't get a salary. My husband, "Are you starving or thirsty? Your mouth is just asking for a beating." When the topic of money came up, Victoria immediately changed the subject. "What were you all arguing about when I came in?" My husband stepped forward, trying to appease her. "Victoria, hurry and eat. I saved a chicken leg for you. I already ate while I was shopping in the city. Who even cares about a chicken leg these days?" Margaret, Grace, it's embarrassing to talk about this outside. A woman your age, fighting over a bite to eat. Don't we women always make sure the children and men of the family eat first? Every time you argue, you bring up rehashed old arguments. Learn from Victoria, look how well-mannered and refined she always is. Now, hurry up and clear the table. My chest was tight with unspoken anger and sorrow. I had been enduring a miserable existence for 16 years. Every day, I slaved away, never getting any appreciation. Everyone despised me, even my own daughter. Margaret had a strong preference for sons, my husband was simple-minded, and his widowed sister-in-law was sharp-witted and scheming. If it weren't for my daughter, I would have left long ago. Victoria, in her new blue down jacket, looked even more serene and elegant, her hands soft and well-maintained. "Sister-in-law, do you like my new outfit?" She loved to provoke and anger me, even though it was my husband's money she was spending. My husband, "Sister-in-law looks good in everything. You even look younger than Grace." I scrubbed the dining table vigorously with a cloth, wondering when this life would ever end. It wasn't that I hadn't pushed for a divorce before. The most serious argument was when a kind neighbor offered me some watermelon. Mark slapped me across the face, knocking the watermelon from my hand. "You greedy woman," shamelessly smiling so cheaply at other men. I was furious then, packed my things, and prepared to divorce him. My daughter tugged at my pants, crying loudly, "Mommy, where are you going? Aren't you going to want Chloe anymore?" Children are the lifelines of us women. If I left, how would my daughter survive in this family with a strong preference for sons? William, after I'm gone, all assets will go to my eldest grandson. Margaret, daughters will marry out eventually, they're outsiders. My husband, when I'm old, I'll rely on Ethan. After so many years of marriage, I had brought up divorce many times, but each time they demanded I return the $80,000 bride price. I couldn't beat him, couldn't out-argue him. It was the whole family against me. I didn't have much education, no family backing, and no job. The weather in the northern plains was bitterly cold. Before, every time I despaired, I would look at my daughter's innocent, joyful smile and find the strength to endure. Isn't everyone just getting through life day by day like this? Numbly, I cleared the leftover food and still had to do the laundry. A divorce of convenience for the entire family of 7, William, Margaret, Ethan, and my widowed sister-in-law. I had to wash their clothes too. Disrespecting my widowed sister-in-law would unleash the fury of the entire family, which I couldn't bear. William flew into a rage. "Mark, beat your wife properly. She's disrespecting her elder sister-in-law." Margaret fanned the flames. "She doesn't act like a daughter-in-law at all." My husband's temperament was like a dog's. If someone provoked him, he'd turn and bite me. If I ever dared to defy my elders or badmouth Victoria, he would lock the door and beat me until I begged for mercy. Victoria was his forbidden zone. I couldn't show her the slightest disrespect. "I'll slap you to death." Numbly, I hung the laundry, my back aching. At 34, I looked older than 40, my hands rough, my face sallow. The clothes on my back were Victoria's hand-me-downs from last year. Why buy new clothes? Victoria kindly gave you clothes. Don't you appreciate her good intentions, sister-in-law? We women still need to be thrifty with our money to get by. My phone was an old, used one that my widowed sister-in-law had discarded. With no family backing and not a penny in my hand, how could I escape this home? William's loud voice yelled at me again, Grace, I've been calling you for ages to pour tea. What kind of daughter-in-law is as lazy as you? I'm washing clothes right now. Can't you just reach out and pour yourself some tea? You only have a bad liver, you're not immobile. William, what's wrong with my liver? I'm not spending your money. 3. A divorce of convenience. The family was preparing to go to the hospital to see Victoria's matching results. Victoria, Dad, all these years you've treated me like your own daughter. A part of the liver can regenerate, so I'll donate mine to you. William was so moved he was in tears, flowing freely. You truly are Dad's good daughter-in-law. Our Oldley family must have been blessed by our ancestors to marry such a daughter-in-law like you. My husband handed me $100, Gr. Ace, we're going to the hospital first. Go buy a stewing hen to nourish Victoria. Donating a liver is very hard on the body. How could she possibly donate a liver? She herself has nephritis. Sure enough, they returned home after getting the report. Victoria's eyes welled with tears. Dad, I really wanted to donate my liver to you, but the doctor said my kidneys are failing. William and Margaret, and the 2 children, all burst into tears. Their world had fallen apart. Oh, eldest daughter-in-law, if anything happens to you, Dad won't live either. Margaret cried as if she were at a funeral. Why do misfortunes always find our family? My husband, Victoria, I'll donate my kidney to you. The whole family agreed, except for me. If his health fails, wouldn't that just burden me and the children with more suffering? If your health collapses, who will earn money for this family? Who will pay the surgical fees? My husband, enraged, slammed his hand on the table and roared at me, his eyes fierce, as if he wanted to kill me. I'll sell everything we own to get medical treatment and donate my kidney to Victoria. How dare you criticize things in this family? You're just a slave I paid for. But I'm the one doing all the housework, inside and out. Then I'll have to take care of 2 sick people. My husband, look at you, you black-hearted wretch. Say one more word and I'll kill you. William, you must take out a loan to pay for Victoria's medical treatment. Your elder brother is gone, we are Victoria's only support. Are we just supposed to stop living our lives? My husband, Grace, you go to the hospital tomorrow to get tested for Victoria too. For 16 years, I have been toiling tirelessly for them. She spends the money my husband earns, and still expects me to wait on her like a servant. Donate a kidney to her? In your dreams. My husband, I've decided, I'm donating to Victoria. I absolutely don't agree. And let me tell you now, I won't go to the hospital to take care of either of you. Margaret, if you won't take care of them, I will. It's not like money can't buy a nurse. Don't think you're so important that the family can't function without you. My daughter came home from school and immediately started blaming me. Mom, how can you be so malicious? Grandpa has late-stage cirrhosis, and how can you stand by while Victoria suffers from kidney failure? I don't want a cruel mother like you. Do you know that when you were born, William wanted to throw you in the toilet and drown you? His house, his savings, all his affection went to your cousin Ethan. He never even saw you. Looking at my naive and foolish daughter, I was at a loss for words. Margaret, why are you bringing up rehashed old arguments from years ago? Unsophisticated rural folk love to gossip and are so narrow-minded. I made my stance clear. I absolutely refuse to agree to the surgery. We have 2 elderly people, 2 students, money is needed everywhere. William was shaking with anger. My husband stood up and slapped me hard across the face. You wretched woman, you talk too much. I was hit, and my daughter laughed happily. Dad, hit her harder. Mom is so mean, always speaking ill of William and Victoria. The slap left my face burning, but it was my daughter's attitude that chilled me to the bone. Who was I being the bad guy for here? I stayed in this house, taking beatings and enduring abuse, all for her. Now she was siding with her father, resenting me, even becoming an accomplice in my suffering. She hated me for disciplining her too much, hated me for not giving her pocket money. She disliked that I wasn't as intellectual and elegant as Victoria. I was just an unsophisticated housewife, a rural woman who only brought her embarrassment. Victoria, Mark, thank you, but I can't let you donate your kidney. For divorce I locked myself in my room, wanting only to escape this house. The next T-Day, they returned from the hospital with the test results. Mark, Grace, my elder brother is gone. I need to take his place and take good care of Victoria and Ethan. Let's get a divorce of convenience first. Then Victoria and I can register our marriage, and I can legally donate my kidney to her. The doctors said our kidneys are a match, it must be fate. Listening to Mark's words, I felt utterly disgusted. I had seen many divorce lawyers offering consultations on TikTok. Divorce is divorce, there are no more ties. Legally, there's no such thing as a divorce of convenience. As long as you get the divorce certificate, it's a real divorce. Who would want to continue enduring this hopeless cage? In the past, I willingly stayed bound here for my daughter. Now she despised me and preferred Victoria. I would grant their family happiness. The next day, I still didn't give in. Who wanted a divorce of convenience? What I wanted was a real divorce. Many people use a divorce of convenience as an excuse for a real divorce, leaving the other party burdened with debt. Unless there's an agreement, I won't go through with the divorce. Mark instantly became angry. Grace, I knew you'd be narrow-minded and jealous. Victoria's kidneys are failing, we can't wait any longer. My daughter came home with her backpack and slammed it onto a chair. Mom, if you don't divorce Dad, I'm not going to school tomorrow. She knew how to manipulate me. Her attitude left me cold. Who was I doing all this for? Your dad wants to be with Victoria. If that gets out, you'll never be able to hold your head up again. You're about to take your high school entrance exams. Why are you messing around instead of studying? My daughter yelled at me, her voice hoarse. I hate you. Just leave this house. I don't want you to be my mom, I want Victoria to be my mom. Victoria, Grace, Mark and I are just getting married on paper. Sister-in-law is begging you. Look, my child doesn't have a father, and he's in high school now, he can't lose his mother too. After so many years of scheming, she finally showed her true colors. Mark and his family were utterly clueless. Unless you sign an agreement ensuring I won't be burdened with any debt and giving me some money, I won't agree even if it means my death. Mark's eyes widened with fury. Dad is still sick. How can you be so selfish and malicious? After the divorce, if you expect me to pay off debts, where would I, a housewife, get the money? Besides, you're not leaving me any money, and the child is about to take her high school entrance exams. Doesn't this family need money for expenses? Are we all supposed to die? Finally, Mark and I signed the divorce papers. It was in duplicate, stating that all debts were unrelated to me, and I wouldn't have to pay child support. Mark gave me $3,000. A laughable $3,000, the result of 16 years of toiling tirelessly and selfless dedication at home. Mark gave Victoria $3,000 every month, plus some performance bonuses and year-end bonuses that I had never seen. After all, he worked on the emergency repair crew at the power company, which was supposedly very lucrative. We filed for divorce. Grace, Victoria, and I are just doing a divorce of convenience. You stay home and take good care of my parents. I remained silent, doing housework as usual, counting the days until I received the divorce certificate. There was also the divorce waiting period. He could withdraw the divorce application at any time. That divorce waiting period felt so long. I hated it. After the divorce, I would be free. Where should I go? Somewhere neither my birth family nor my ex-in-laws could find me. The northern plains were freezing cold, with heavy winds that chapped and cracked my hands. TikTok said the southern coast was spring-like all year round, with oceans. I remembered how I applied to a university on the southern COA. ST as my first choice when I took my college entrance exams. But fate wasn't on my side. Now, having gained my freedom, with my own 2 hands and feet, I wouldn't starve to death. I calculated the money I had. Personal jewelry could be taken after divorce. My only piece of jewelry was a gold necklace Mark had bought me when I was pregnant. It was the only warmth I'd ever felt from him. The gold necklace weighed about 20 grams. Gold prices were high now, so it should be worth over $10,000. Over the years, I had secretly saved $8,000 in the bank. This was my entire fortune. As soon as the waiting period ended, I solemnly signed the divorce application. Receiving the divorce certificate, I breathed a sigh of relief. Mark took Victoria to the nephrology department for hospitalization. Margaret accompanied William to the hepatology department for hospitalization. I packed my luggage, a small bag, a few changes of clothes, all Victoria's hand-me-downs. My daughter came home from school. Mom, did you and Dad get your divorce certificate? Yes, we did. Come wash your hands for dinner. Since you divorced Dad, why are you still clinging to this house? Victoria is very kind, Dad likes her, and William and Margaret like her. They're married now. It's fate's arrangement to make them happy. If you stay in this house, you'd be the other woman, you know that, right? My daughter's words cut deep, erasing the last vestiges of my reluctance and love for her. An ungrateful wretch can never be truly nurtured. I took out $1,000 and gave it to her, severing our final mother-daughter ties. Remember what you said today. I'm granting your wish, Mom, leave now. I don't want to see you for another day. When you leave this house, our family will be complete. I pulled my luggage and walked out, no longer feeling any warmth for Riverton. Alright, I'm leaving now. I found a hotel and checked in, lay on the bed, and turned off my alarm. I slept soundly and woke up feeling refreshed. I hadn't felt this relaxed in 16 years. 5. Starting a new life. I put on new clothes, new shoes, got a youthful short haircut, and started everything anew. I pawned the gold necklace for $14,000. Being out on my own, I felt insecure without money. All my assets combined amounted to $24,000. $20,000 was in a high-yield savings account earning interest, about $1 a day. Even small gains add up. $4,000 was in a mobile payment account. Riverton was too far from the southern coast. I went to the airport, flying for the first time in my life. I sat by the window, my heart filled with excitement. The city below looked so tiny, and my spirits lifted even more. A flight attendant brought coffee, and ice cream cappuccino. The sweet cappuccino was truly delicious. It was my first time having it. Victoria often took the 2 children out for cappuccino, and they always raved about how good it was. It was indeed sweet to my soul. The plane soared through the clouds, carrying me from the bitter cold of the northern plains to the ends of the earth. Warm air enveloped me. The wind here was gentle. I loved this city. I was going to live here. Mark sent me a text message, issuing orders. Make a good pot of chicken soup. I'll take it to the city hospital to nourish Victoria. To hell with your chicken soup. What Victoria? Isn't she your new wife? We're divorced. I sent the text back, and Mark immediately called. I hung up on him, went to a phone store, and got a new SIM card. The scenery here was pleasant, the sky a clear blue. With no endless housework, I felt like I had traveled to another world, starting a brand new life. I went to a luxury coastal resort to apply for a job. The hotel receptionist greeted me, assuming I was checking in. I explained my purpose. I was just here to apply for a cleaning position. The manager interviewed me. A 34-year-old housewife. Hardworking and resilient, I was hired. Working in such a beautiful place, I'd wake up smiling from a dream. During probation, the monthly salary was $3,000, with meals and employee housing provided. During probation, I primarily worked day shifts. I started at 6, had an hour for lunch, and finished at 3 in the afternoon. What a dream life. Getting paid, and having weekends off. No accusations, no insults. The air on the southern coast was warm, and fruits were excellent and affordable. I loved it here. Eating fruit made my skin soft and fair. My colleagues in employee housing were great. They taught me how to do face masks. After half a month here, I looked at myself in the mirror. My hair was shiny black, my skin supple. I used to be considered the most beautiful woman for miles around. Occasionally, I still checked social media posts and TikTok from my hometown. My daughter's social media post showed her father's happiness, with him spoon-feeding soup to his new wife. My daughter's caption, "The best parents." Mark truly loved her, it seemed. At least I had never experienced his tenderness, not even during my postpartum recovery period or when I was sick. I always had to take care of myself. I was always the one serving him. I felt no love for him either. Any initial fondness had long dissolved in years of constant arguments. My daughter and Mark were on TikTok and social media posts, saying I was selfish and disloyal to William and Margaret. The relatives' comments below were quite amusing. You've already remarried. Are you planning on having 2 wives? You're already divorced. Why are you still holding on to her? I figured they must be ecstatic without me, the annoying presence. I received my first $3,000 paycheck. I felt a great sense of accomplishment. I bought a new phone for $1,000. This phone had much better clarity, faster internet, and I could laugh even harder while watching TikTok. I smiled more in this 1 month than in the past 16 years combined. I had $2,000 left. I saved $1,500 and spent the remaining $500 on fruit and snacks. The hotel food was excellent, seafood, shrimp, chicken legs. I'd even gotten tired of them. This kind of life was unimaginable to me before. After my probation, I started working rotating shifts, earning a net salary of $4,000 a month. With overtime during holidays or peak season, I could make $5,000. I saved at least 2,500 every month, and having savings made me feel incredibly secure. On my days off, I slept until I naturally woke up, no longer worrying about oversleeping and getting hit or yelled at. I loved running by the sea and going shopping for snacks with my girlfriends. I loved drinking milk. Before, I could only drink the leftovers from the 2 children. Now I bought 2 cartons for my employee housing and drank whenever I wanted. Fruits in Hainan were so cheap, sweet, and delicious. I was very content with my current life. Some men pursued me, but having just escaped a cage, I wouldn't easily jump into another fiery pit. After Mark was discharged from the hospital, he called me continuously for a month, but couldn't get through. His wardrobe was full of old clothes, and I had taken all my documents. At first, he probably felt good, with one less person nagging him at home. My daughter was about to take her high school entrance exams, and she had to wash her own clothes. That's when they started to appreciate me. My daughter sent a text message, asking me to come back. She had gotten what she wanted. Victoria was now her mother. Why would she want me back? To continue washing their clothes, cooking, mopping, and listening to their endless criticisms? I disconnected my old phone. A few days later, Mark posted on TikTok and social media posts, "Wife, please come back. I miss you so much. Mom, I miss you too. Please come back." They were truly delusional. They and looked for me online and reported me missing to the police, all just to find me. The police: "You're divorced, you're not her family, so you cannot report her missing." With 3 sick people at home, they were relying on an old woman to take care of them. Margaret was exhausted, her back and legs aching. This life is impossible. Why isn't Grace coming back? With no one to care for the whole family, they had to hire a nanny. When people heard they had to care for so many, they demanded $6,000 a month. Of course, they couldn't find a nanny. They were both picky and stingy. They wanted to trick me into returning, to continue being their patsy, their free servant. Working hard without complaint, without pay, like a soft persimmon they could manipulate at will. I wasn't going to be their patsy. I didn't want to live that kind of life for another day. 2 sick people at home needed care, and expensive medication. Mark had to find a new job to earn money. When he went to work, his clothes always smelled. The good old days of being waited on hand and foot were over for him. No one cleaned the house, it was unbelievably filthy. Mark's clothes got dirty, so he told Chloe to wash them. Chloe, who had never done housework, threw all the family's clothes into the washing machine. Victoria's face fell. "Chloe, you've ruined my new clothes. How can you wash men's clothes with women's blouses?" Chloe felt extremely wronged. "Victoria, so I wash your clothes and still get no thanks? Why should I even wash your clothes?" Mark scolded Chloe. "Chloe, you're so thoughtless." Victoria is still recovering. William is very angry. Apologize to Victoria quickly. Chloe had a bitter grievance she couldn't express, her heart filled with resentment. Why do I get yelled at for doing housework? Margaret, a girl who can't do housework will just get bullied in her husband's family. If you don't know how, learn properly. Chloe finally understood what it meant to put an effort and receive no appreciation. She had voluntarily cooked and washed clothes, yet no one praised her. Instead, they criticized her for doing poorly. Ever since I married in, Margaret hardly did any housework, spending her days doing community fitness classes and local folk dances. She didn't want to do chores. After all, she was over 70. If you don't do it, who will? It's your mother who ran off. Go and learn to cook. Chloe cut her finger badly while chopping vegetables, and barely managed to finish cooking dinner. Victoria looked utterly disgusted. The chicken soup is too greasy, and the feathers aren't even completely plucked. William, a very particular man, said, "The clothes still smell after washing. You need to hand wash them thoroughly. The food is sometimes too salty, sometimes too bland. If you can't cook properly, don't eat." Chloe, in a fit of rage, smashed a bowl, which naturally earned her a beating from her father. Lying on the bed, her cheeks swollen, she finally understood her mother's suffering and abuse while doing housework. "You all do it yourselves. I'm going to high school. I can't stand this house for another day." Margaret, what's a worthless girl doing going to school? Stay home and dutifully serve your William and Margaret. In a couple of years, find a husband and get married. Chloe immediately turned on Margaret and argued with her. "Why won't you let me go to school, you worthless girl? You're out of control." Her grandmother grabbed a stick to hit Chloe. Instead, Chloe pushed her to the ground, and she suffered a cerebral embolism. With 3 sick family members, Mark had to quit his job and stay home with Chloe to care for them. She had to wash everyone's clothes. She was practically a maid. The whole family criticized her daily for not doing things well. Chloe finally couldn't take it anymore. No school, no money to spend. A family of ungrateful wretches. She secretly took money and left. She had only endured such a life for 2 months, while her mother had endured it for 16 years. Who would manage the household now? Victoria's face turned sallow and wan, her aging accelerated. She groaned dramatically every day, resting in bed, unable to do a single chore. Mark no longer felt any affection for her, he had no intention of consummating their marriage. He finally remembered how good I was. I had toiled tirelessly for this family for 16 years, and he had never bought me a single new piece of clothing. Victoria, Grace left home because we got married on paper. Let's hurry and get our divorce certificate. I want to bring Grace back. Of course she agreed. After all, the assets were in her hands, and she had tricked him into donating a kidney. If she could get me back to be a free nanny, she would happily agree. They quickly finalized their divorce. William had to go to the hospital frequently for inpatient care. Margaret's mouth was twisted, her eyes askew, and she lay immobile in bed, needing help with personal hygiene. The house reeked. The family's expenses outstripped their income, and the house was filled with garbage. Mark went out to look for me, but it was really to escape caring for the 3 sick people. No one wants to care for the chronically ill. He had long grown tired of constantly cleaning up after them. He regretted it so much. Such a good wife who kept the house spotless every day, he hadn't appreciated her for a single day. Margaret lay in bed, thinking of how good I was, reeking of filth. She had never suffered like this before. William wanted to eat the fish cakes I used to cook. Grace, why aren't you back yet? The house smelled unbearable. Victoria deliberately went to the hospital to recuperate, leaving the 2 elderly people alone at home. William slipped in the bathroom and never got up again. After all, without me to clean, the bathroom was too filthy. Margaret, partially paralyzed and lying in bed, couldn't call for help and starved to death. Victoria handled the aftermath, sold all the properties, and took Ethan to live in a big city. Mark returned home to find his family gone, everyone dead. He hadn't been there to care for his parents in their old age or bury them. His wife had left, and his children were scattered. He had no savings and no house. He had lost his job, and his body ached all over. Upon learning that Victoria had long since moved away with Ethan, and that Margaret had starved to death, Mark went insane with rage. I was only gone for a few days. Why didn't Victoria take care of Mom and Dad, or hire a caregiver? All the family's money was with her, which led to Mom and Dad starving to death. Mark became self-destructive, started drinking heavily, and soon developed late-stage cirrhosis and kidney failure, following the same path as his father. Mark lay in bed, skin and bones. He posted online, seeking sympathy, looking for his daughter, his wife, his sister-in-law, and Ethan to come back and take care of him. Ethan, uncle, my mom has to take anti-rejection medication every day. You shouldn't have donated your kidney to my mom back then. We wouldn't have run out of money, and her health still isn't fully recovered. Mark asked Ethan to take care of him in his old age. Uncle, there's no legal obligation for a nephew to care for his uncle in old age. You should find Chloe, she's your biological daughter, she has that responsibility. Sadly, no one was there to care for Mark in his old age or bury him when he died. He scrolled past social media posts of Ethan at a wedding banquet. It was Victoria's 3rd marriage. She looked perfectly healthy and radiant. He died alone under a bridge, that was his end. Many years later, while traveling with my partner and child, I encountered Chloe selling roasted sweet potatoes with her own child. She was now in her 30s with a child. Chloe, Mom, I'm sorry. I was so foolish back then, I didn't understand your suffer. ing and sacrifices. She was now just like I had been back then. She hadn't gone to university, forced to stay in her in-laws' home doing housework for her child, despised by her husband and children. Things are pretty good now. My quiet words conveyed my sense of peace. My partner was a chef at the coastal resort. He kept only $500 as pocket money each month and gave the rest to me. I was so glad I had the courage to build a new family and find happiness. Now, we owned a restaurant. I was the proprietor, and he cooked diligently, always treating me with sincerity. At 55, our beloved daughter was accepted into Coastal University. Everything was perfect. Thanks for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section, so feel free to share your opinions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great stories. See you next time.